I am the state. Louis XIV begins personal rule of France, 1661. On the death of his chief minister Cardinal Mazarin, the 23-year-old Louis XIV of France declared that he would now rule alone, as an absolute monarch. During his 72-year reign, 1643 to 1715, Louis dominated his subjects, cultivating the image of a sun-king around whom the country orbited. Louis saw his power as God-given, and himself as the embodiment of the state, with the nobility, the middle classes, and peasants dependent on him for justice and protection. To maintain this position, Louis controlled the historically unruly aristocracy. He compelled them to attend his court, where he dispensed privileges and positions via a system of etiquette. He filled the treasury's depleted coffers by appointing members of the upper middle classes to collect taxes in the provinces. Taxation was extensive and the burden fell mainly on the peasantry. Louis's finance minister, Jean-Baptiste, whose overhaul of France's trade and industry helped to make the country Europe's leading power, increased the efficiency of the revenue system. Expanding France. Louis's tax income paid for his court at the dazzling Palace of Versailles, an old hunting lodge extended into a royal palace, and the venue for extravagant entertainments. From 1682 it became the permanent base of the royal court, and the seat of government. Louis also waged a series of costly dynastic wars to make some territorial gains along France's frontiers, leading the other European nations to form coalitions against him. Peace was finally achieved at the Treaty of Utrecht in 1713, but brought few gains for France. The country was plunged into debt and opinion turned against the crown. In spite of this, Louis established a pattern of absolutism in France that lasted, in a more enlightened form, for most of the 18th century until attempts to reform the system resulted in the overthrow of the monarchy in 1792 during the French Revolution. In context. Focus: Absolutist France. Before 1624 to 1642, Cardinal Richelieu, Louis XIII's chief minister, reforms and strengthens central administration. 1643 to 1661, Louis's mother, ruling on his behalf, helps to consolidate royal power. 1648 to 1653, nobles revolt against royal authority in a conflict called the Fronde. After 1685, Louis XIV revokes the Edict of Nantes, which had granted Huguenots the right to practice their religion. 1701 to 1714, the War of the Spanish Succession severely strains French resources. 1789, the French Revolution removes King Louis XVI and ends absolutist royal power in France.